I can honestly say that I've never started my day, at least not this early, with a pastrami sandwich from a Jewish deli. The things we do for extreme brewing. You can make a great beer with just 4 ingredients: barley, hops, water, and yeast. But to make an extreme beer, those 4 ingredients put together the same old way isn't enough. This is Project Extreme Brewing. Today, I'm joined by Augie Carton of New Jersey's Carton Brewing, and we're going to be making Deli. You heard me right, it's a beer inspired by the flavors of a pastrami sandwich. But first, we need to go make one to understand flavor. We're at Coastal Delaware's most famous Jewish delicatessen, Rosenfeld's. They are known for their pastrami sandwich. What do you think? What is the classic ratio of ingredients?
I think so there's something about the Jewish deli thing where they're always way overstacking, but I think you should go about 3 fingers deep with the meat. Mustard on both sides. When you're asked by you and the Alstroms to do something interesting, I thought it'd be fun to explore umami. The deli sandwich is the one that, because of its contrast, because all of those flavors, you've got your sour in the pickle, you've got your heat in the mustard, sweetness in the bread, which is the rye, all those contrasting that rich, really just the warm pastrami and just that unctuousness, that feeling. Yep. But you find the unctuousness, the richness of the meat by the contrasting 4 other flavors going on.
Yep.
Every time somebody's had a hard time figuring out what I meant, I'm like, just go get a proper pastrami on rye with a pickle, yep, spicy mustard on it, and that feeling that's in the middle of those 4 flavors, that's what sells it. So that's what I deconstructed for the book was how to do that.
Yep.
And I'm just loving this sandwich, man.
Yeah.
You go back to talking. I'm eating more.
I don't know what else I have to say, except lunch is served. After the sandwich build, we rolled ourselves out to Brewings and Eats to get started on the liquid sandwich. That meant we had to go next door to do some ingredient prep for the homemade pastrami rub destined for the boil. You said earlier you got to use a little imagination. How do you guys as a company decide this is what we want our brand to stand for and to show off at Extreme Beer Fest in 2017?
So we believe the extreme for us is the creativity. We made a hardcore policy amongst ourselves that we would never bring the same beer to EBF twice. I'm always more impressed when somebody does something truly amazing with flavors where you don't think they can. Yeah. Right? You know what I mean? When you're down to 3%, you've got real flavor.
Right. You can't hide behind intensity of alcohol.
Pretty amazing.
Our first sour beer we did about 14 years ago was the Festina Peche, which was, a Belgian wild ale brewed with local peaches. And right now we have Pfeiffer's doing acres of peaches for our new version of that beer. And so those local beers for us, we love that opportunity to engage with the local agricultural community. How does the concept of local play into Carton Brewery's philosophy?
Well, the answer to that is I'm a local. My kids are the 7th generation of my family that have lived within 8 miles of where my brewery is.
7 generations.
The conceit there is that my flavors, what I like, what I need things to taste like, are born of being part of that world. If I make stuff that tastes good to me, it'll taste good to enough of my community because we have a common table that we all eat at.
Speaking of extreme approaches, this is the part of our show we like to refer to as liquid truth serum. Right under our table there happens to be a half growler. But what we do is we sip on liquid truth serum while I ask you some pointed questions. Are you ready, Augie?
I think
liquid truth serum.
Fire. Let's see how this goes.
Name a beer in your history of commercial brewing that you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be a disaster, and then all of a sudden it was one of your best sellers and you didn't expect it.
We have a tree in our backyard that grows mulberries, so I went straight into a Berliner, a kettle sour Berliner, put it in there and put together a beer that's kind of this light pink champagne color with one of the dullest tree fruits in the world. Everybody thought I was nuts 8 months into brewing to be putting out a kettle sour with mulberries in it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're a happy husband. It made my wife happy.
It's important.
I figured-
Important. That's the most truthful thing that's ever been said on Liquid Truth Serum. Keep your wives happy. Is it
And
now
then-
an annual tradition?
Well, it is, and we gave it a year off because I wanted to go do something different.
Yeah. People got
and
mad
I
at
got
you.
yelled at.
Yes.
I got yelled at.
Cheers, Augie. So Augie and I came together to brew this beautiful beer, Deli. And basically Deli is sort of a turbocharged, quick version of a Flanders Red that's not like any Flanders Red anyone's ever had before. Because basically what we did here was deconstructed the components of a stacked sandwich and brought them into this quick sort of kettle sour beer that has those super pungent, enticing, mouth-watering, savory and sweet umami characteristics that you would get from your best Jewish deli sandwich. So Deli is representing that in liquid form in a way no other beer has ever done. Cheers, Augie. So if you got a hankering to kind of combine the culinary and brewing worlds in something as adventurous as this beautiful deli beer that we did with Carton, pick up a copy of Project Extreme Brewing, the book that I wrote with the Ahlstrom brothers. It has over 40 recipes from 30-something odd adventurous creative brewing legends, and it is available anywhere that you buy great books, also available at dogfish.com. Get brewing.